Hello, I'm John Bachman. Congressional Republicans are ready for a showdown with the White House over government funding and the current spending bill that's set to expire late next week. Speaker of the House John Boehner announced a new plan today to fund most of the government until next fall. But that plan limits money for the Department of Homeland Security because of the president's recent executive action on immigration. Boehner says the president is trampling on the Constitution.
Or his decision to take unilateral action on immigration, action he himself said exceeded his authority, and makes it harder for the American people and their elected representatives to trust his word on any issue.
Well, that GOP news are happening while Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson was on Capitol Hill defending the president's immigration plan and taking criticism from senior members.
But you said they were lawfully here, and under congressional intent, they are not lawfully here, and yet the president has created that category out of whole cloth.
Members of that committee hammered away at Johnson over what they see as a presidential flip-flop. Before the election, of course, President Obama said he did not have the authority to do this executive action, but then he went ahead with the executive order anyway. Also, during that House Homeland Security meeting, Jay Johnson answered questions about 4 terrorists from Turkey caught illegally crossing the border into the U.S. earlier this year.
2 are detained. The 2 others were released by the judge. Not my preference. They were released by the judge.
Well, Secretary Johnson went on to say that the 2 released terrorists fled to Canada, where they are currently seeking asylum. Earlier this year, he had promised to deport those terrorists, but instead, as you heard, they were released back into the United States. And in Ferguson, police are investigating Michael Brown's stepfather to see if he incited a riot when he urged the crowd to burn Ferguson, Missouri to the ground right after the grand jury decision was announced. Ferguson, already tense from weeks of unrest, erupted shortly after that announcement of the decision. Multiple businesses, cars, and even police cars were destroyed during those protests. One of the wives of the leader of ISIS is apparently in custody in Lebanon. Officials say they got one of the wives of Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. She and one of her children were apprehended while crossing the border near Syria. They were picked up about a week and a half ago carrying fake IDs. Another one of al-Baghdadi's wives was released earlier this year in a prisoner swap in Syria. And take a close look at this. A natural gas explosion destroying a home in Chicago today. Officials evacuated the entire neighborhood. Police say water crews were working in the area when that gas line erupted. That's going to do it for this Newsmax Now update. We got another one coming up for you in 30 minutes. Remember to stay tuned to the Steve Malzberg Show. Also coming up a little bit later, we're going to take a closer look at the people who chose not to become the next Secretary of Defense. We'll have that for you later on in the show. And now we'll send it back to Steve Malzberg, coming live to you from New York.